Okay, so in last session we have talked about the string class.
Yes, string class.
Okay, so if you have any doubt, you can ask me. Not from the string class, you can ask me from the session 1. We have completed 6 sessions till now, right? So you can ask me anything. Anybody? No, I'm teaching well. Thank you. So let me go to the next one. Still want to ask, anybody want to ask anything?
No, Pradeep.
Good. Okay, so today I'm going to pick a topic that is called array. So that is also a very, very good topic and also very important from the interview perspectives. Okay. Okay. So generally I have seen that whenever I try to make a variable at a class level or at a, you can say within a function that is called a local variable, I usually define in this way. Like I want to declare a numeric variables. So I declare int, you can say something like that, a. And if we want to only declare, we can do this thing. This is called, I have declared a variable a type of int. Is it okay? And when I say this thing, that if I'm doing the same thing like int a equal to, I'm doing 2. It means I'm declaring the variable a, type is numeric, and same time I'm assigning the value. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
So now what happens in this case, when we declare a variable in such a way, in memory, actually it creates a value. It creates a value, something like that. Let me open my paintbrush. So
Yes.
in this, way, what happens? Assume that this is our memory. So what happens when we declare a variable, something like this? So it's
Sir,
actually, yeah.
Sir, what concept is going on? Array.
Yes, yeah.
Sir, I just joined. Sorry.
Yeah, we have just started right now. Okay.
Okay, array. Okay.
Okay.
Fine.
So yeah, so I was telling that what happens that whenever you want to store a single value, okay, whenever you want to store a single value, like you want to store a numeric value, you want to store a string value, whenever you want to store a single value in the memory, what you do, you declare the variable in such a way, like int equal to 2 to store a numeric value. You want to store a string value, what you will do, a string and something like that, str, some variable name, and you will write something here, Pradeep, right?
Yes.
So what happened in this case, what happens in the memory, how these things are stored in the memory, you can take the example, you can take the example, this square is just like a memory, and when this line will run, take the example of first one, line number 7, when this line will run, actually the value 2 will be stored in the memory. Okay, so what will happen, it is something like that. In the memory, there will be, within memory, there will be some, you can say block, something like that. Or I can do one thing. Let me tell you one more interesting thing. If anybody know this thing, that actually your variable, your memory is actually divided into the blocks. Anybody know this thing? Anybody know?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I can give the example also, so that you can trust on me that I'm doing the right or wrong thing. Anybody have just think about that whenever you go to the market and ask that I want to upgrade my RAM in my system. So they usually say that the RAM comes in a fixed, you can say size, like 128, 256, yes or no, 512. Then so, and if you will ask, oh, I want a RAM of 513, they will say no, 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 there are fixed size, 128, 256, 512, yes or no. Then we talk about 1 GB, 2 GB, 4 GB, something like that, yes or no.
Yes.
So actually, why this size is fixed? Usually what happens that you think about that whenever you try to install some, you can say a memory in your system. It may be a RAM memory, it may be a ROM, it may be, you can say, for example, in other terms, it may be a primary memory, it may be secondary memory. But memory is actually divided into the small parts, small blocks, right? And every block is, you can say, the block is divided into, you can say, some parts. For example, I can take the example, this whole memory is divided into the, you can say, small block, and one block takes, for example, takes 1 byte. Are you getting my point? One block
Yes.
take 1 byte. So I'm just taking the example. It is not the, you can say 100% scenario. Maybe your block is divided in 2 bytes, 4 bytes, something like that. But I'm taking the example that your each block is of 1 byte. Getting my point? So now when this thing is stored, and suppose take the example, your numeric value 2 needs a space of 2 byte. What it will do? It will go into the memory and reserve a block, 2 blocks. Getting my point? Yes or no?
Yes.
It will reserve a block of 2, something like this, and we will store a value of 2 if it needs 2. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
And this whole block is referred by a reference variable that is called A. A is your reference variable. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So in this way, what happens? This value will be stored. Now take the example. If any other single numeric value you want to store, something like that, int b equal to, suppose take the example 4. What will happen in this case? Definitely, it will reserve another block. Yes or no?
Yes.
So it can reserve this block anywhere in the memory where it will find wherever. There is no fixed sequence that it will go to the next of this A variable. It is not mandatory. Wherever it will get a place, it will assign something like that here. So it will assign a memory of
4.
4.
4.
Yes, very good. So it will store the memory 4 here. And now it will be referenced by a variable B.
B.
Getting my point? So actually what happens that whenever you try to store a value in a memory and you want to refer in your program, you actually use this concept. You declare the variable and then you assign the value. So in this case, what happens? In this case, what happens? At a time, you are just storing a value, one value in a memory and referring with a one reference variable. Yes or no?
Yes.
Now take the example. I want to store 5 numeric values. So I'm going to take 5 variables. Yes or no?
Yes.
So I will do one thing. I will do 7, and it doesn't mean I'm just storing the value in the same thing, same sequence. Let me take the example of 3. So now tell me, whenever I will run this program, what will happen? 5 objects will be stored in the memory and 5 variables I need to refer them. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
And I will tell you, usually I write this variable in this place out of this memory, but actually this variable is actually a part of your memory. Are you getting my point? This reference variable where I'm telling you that usually I show this black square is a memory and your reference variable is out of this memory, but actually that is not the actual case. I usually do not tell this, otherwise people are confused, but you can just think about that. Actually, this is your, take the example, this is your whole memory. Are you getting my point? This is your whole memory. So actually your whole memory is also divided into so many parts. Like take the example, I will take the example, this big square black square is actually a heap memory. What it called? Heap memory.
Heap memory.
So in the same way, there is some other part of the memory that is known as stack. Okay, so now people will, and now only not these 2 memories are there. So many memories are there. And what is this memory? Actually, your memory is divided into some logical part. And the purpose of this logical part is, you can say mainly the performance. I will tell you what happens. Whenever something is stored in the memory and you want to retrieve something from the heap memory, it takes time. Are you getting my point? It takes time. But if you want to store something in the, if you will store something in the stack memory, the retrieval is little bit fast. That's why we will do. Now tell me, what thing you mostly use in your program? You use reference. Yes or no?
Yes.
Because your memory, your actual data is saved in the heap. But in the whole program, you refer that heap memory with the help of reference, and you can say frequently use this reference variable. That's why your reference variable are stored in the stack. So in the interview, somebody asks you which memory is fast and where your reference variable are stored, simply say that stack.
Stack.
And if somebody asks you that where your actual value or your object are stored,
Heap memory.
Getting my point? So this is very
Yes.
why I told you this topic here. Particular reason is that this is frequently asked in the interview, that what is heap memory and what is stack. So the first thing is that your objects are actual values are actually stored in the heap memory, and mainly the reference variable, or you can say the local variable, that are stored in the stack. And stack is fast and heap memory is little bit slow. Getting my point? Okay, so now let me come back to the array topic. So
Sir,
what happened? Yeah, tell me.
सर वो डायग्राम दिखाइए एक मिनट
Yeah, diagram. Yeah,
Sir,
tell me.
सर ए को रेफरेंस बना के आपने यहाँ पे दो मतलब 2 और 4 को पॉइंट आउट किया है, तो इसमें सर दो रेड ब्लॉक क्यों है हीप मेमोरी में, मतलब
So actually I take the example, I was giving the example that your whole memory is actually divided into small blocks, है ना? आपकी जो पूरी मेमोरी होती है वो छोटे छोटे ब्लॉक्स में डिवाइड होती है. So I was just giving the example कि suppose your whole memory is divided into the one byte and you want to save a data of 2 byte. Are you getting my point? So in that case, what it will occupy 2 blocks to store the particular value. Are you getting my point? And you can take the example, for example, take the example, if I'm taking a long variable, something like that. So you know that the range of the long is greater than the int. Yes or no?
Yes.
So if you want to store some long value, in that case, what happens? Take the example, suppose it takes 4 byte. It takes 4 byte. So it means in the memory, whenever it want to store some value, it has to block 4 blocks. Yes or no? When it will block the 4 blocks, in this 4 block, it will store a long type value. Getting my point?
Yes.
ठीक है, तो मैं आपको ये आप ऐसे समझ सकते हो, यू कैन टेक द एग्जांपल कि आपकी जो पूरी मेमोरी होती है वो छोटे छोटे पार्ट में डिवाइड होती है. आपको अगर स्टोर करने के लिए, इफ यू वांट टू स्टोर सम वैल्यू, तो आप क्या करोगे, अपने डेटा के हिसाब से वो उतना स्क्वायर को कवर करके अपना एरिया बना लेता है. आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट?
yes yes
Or I can give the another example. If you can remind your in your college times, sometimes what happen, we use a concept in our system, fragmentation and defragmentation. पता है किसी को defragmentation? What is defragmentation? आपको कभी आपने सुना होगा, आप लोग कहते थे अपने सिस्टम में कि काम करते हैं, आज मैं what I will do today, I will remove the bad sector from my hard disk. Bad sector समझते हो क्या होता है? आपके जब whenever you try to store something in your system, तो सिस्टम क्या करता है, रैंडम चीजें स्टोर, रैंडम जगह स्टोर करता है. टेक द एग्जांपल, उसने यहाँ स्टोर कर लिया, यहाँ स्टोर कर लिया, यहाँ स्टोर. सो फ्यू मेमोरी which is actually you can say this is the memory which is left between 2 blocks. Yes or no?
Yes.
तो होता क्या है कि कुछ मेमोरी इसमें वेस्ट जाती है. अब मैं आपको एग्जांपल बताऊं. आई विल गिव इट अ वेरी वेरी गुड एग्जांपल. नाउ थिंक अबाउट दैट. आई वांट टू स्टोर अ take the example, suppose I want to store a string variable, right? Str, something like this one, something like this. Now in this case, what will happen? Tell me. Suppose take the example, it needs 8 bytes. It needs 8 bytes. It means 8 blocks. Yes or no? Take the example. So up now in this case, can you tell me, क्या यहाँ पे 8 block खाली नहीं है? खाली है?
Yes, खाली है.
लेकिन हमारे किसी काम के नहीं है. Why? Because I need 8 blocks at one place. Yes or no? हम 8 का एक बाउंड्री बना सके, because I need a total space of 8 bytes. तो आप देखो यहाँ पे क्या है, ऐसा नहीं 8 ब्लॉक नहीं, हमारे मेमोरी है 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 बीच में ऑक्यूपाई है, देन वी हैव 7 8. तो अगर मुझे 8 बाइट का कोई डेटा स्टोर करना है, सो वी नीड अ कंप्लीट वन बिग ब्लॉक फॉर दैट. आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? अब आप मुझे बताओ कि यहाँ पे आपकी स्पेस है, लेकिन बट दैट इज नॉट एट वन प्लेस, सो दिस मेमोरी इज एक्चुअली वेस्ट. यस और नो?
Yes.
अब इसकी जगह अगर क्या होता, इफ यू मेक अ फ्रेगमेंट डिफ्रेगमेंटेशन, तो करता क्या है, आपकी जितनी भी मेमोरी ऐसे ऑक्यूपाई होती है उसको एक जगह स्टोर कर देता है, मैनेज करता है. फॉर एग्जांपल, यू कैन डू वन थिंग. अगर मैं इस वैल्यू 2 को एक काम करूं, इफ आई कैन स्टोर एट स्टार्टिंग के 2 ब्लॉक में कर दूं, फिर इस 4 वाले को उसके बगल में कर दूं, ये कर दूं, इन दैट केस यू विल गेट द 8 बाइट ब्लॉक. यस और नो? यस और नो?
Yes.
So this is called your defragmentation. तो हमारे भी this is also called a bad sector. कुछ ऐसी मेमोरी होती है जो हमारी क्या करते हैं, यूज ही नहीं हो पाती, उसमें कुछ यूज ही नहीं हो पाता, वो बेकार में पड़ी रहती है, and that is called bad sector. ठीक है, that is another thing. Let me come back to the topic. The main thing what I want to tell here, that if you want to store the 5 numeric values, you have to create 5 ऑब्जेक्ट एज वेल एज 5 रेफरेंस वेरिएबल. यस और नो? आपको 5 ऑब्जेक्ट बनाने पड़ेंगे और 5 रेफरेंस वेरिएबल बनाने पड़ेंगे. देन यू कैन स्टोर इट. Getting my point? Second thing, what will happen when you will do this thing? It will be distributed. It will be distributed means value can be stored anywhere in the memory. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, if I will tell you one thing, that I can save your memory, not in terms of values, but in terms of reference variable, I can save your memory. How? If I will give you option that using a single reference variable f, I can store all the values. So in that case, your 4 reference variable place will be saved. Yes or no? अगर मैं
Yes.
आपसे ये बोलूं कि मैं इसमें 5 वैल्यूज को स्टोर करने के लिए, 5 वैल्यू तो आपको स्टोर करनी है, लेकिन उनको पॉइंट करने के लिए यू आर एक्चुअली टेकिंग 5 रेफरेंस वेरिएबल स्पेस इन द स्टैक. स्टैक में कितनी वैल्यू स्टोर होनी है? 5 वेरिएबल ए बी सी डी. यस और नो? अगर मैं आपसे कहूं कि यूजिंग अ सिंगल रेफरेंस वेरिएबल I can store these values or I can refer these values, so it will, you can say, save the memory of 4 reference variable. Yes or no?
Yes.
Are you
Yes.
getting my point? Everybody is getting the concept.
Yes.
And how it is possible? The answer is array. Getting my point? And how it is
Yes.
possible? The answer is array. I will show you how this happens. So I have shown you this thing that whenever you want to store some values like 2, 4, it will be distributed and it will store randomly anywhere in the memory. Now I will show you one thing. Let me control Z. Okay. Now I will show you. This is again the whole memory. And what happens? Array says that whenever you want to store some numeric value in the starting, you can do one thing. Usually you declare the you can say declare a numeric reference variable, something like that. In case array, you have to define such way. Reference variable, you have to make a square bracket left side in the declaration, and right side you write new int, and in the square bracket you give the size of the array. So it means if you want to store 5 numeric values with the help of one reference variable, you have to declare something like that. Int f, square bracket is representing that it is a it a simple reference variable, it is a array reference variable. It is just like a presentation to show the array reference variable. Getting my point? And now right side you write new int, and here you tell the number of elements you want to store. Getting my point?
Yes.
So in this case, now I will show you what happens in the memory. When you write this line of code, it will do one thing. It will actually go and occupy the whole space for 5 numeric values. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
So कैसे करेगा? If I will take the example, because I have created a block of 1 byte, so let me take the example that every integer takes 1 byte. So in that case, in one go, it will first of all, it will store, or you can say occupy the block of 5. Getting my point? ये
Yes.
क्या करेगा? 5 न्यूमेरिक वैल्यू को स्टोर करने के पहले एक बड़ा सा ब्लॉक बनाएगा जिसमें कितने ब्लॉक है? 5. Because you know that I have given the example that suppose take the example one integer value takes 1 byte. तो इसको कितने बाइट मिल जाएंगे? 5. And if you are taking the example of that every numeric value takes 2 byte, तो इसी की जगह क्या हो जाएगा? It can make this one. Yes or no?
Yes.
देखो हर इसमें it is divided into 5 and every block you can say internally इसने कितनी मेमोरी ले ली? 10 ब्लॉक की ले ली, 10 बाइट्स की. Yes or no?
Yes.
So in the array, this is the first thing that whenever you declare an array, first of all, it occupies the memory according to a declaration that how many numeric values you want to store. If you want to store 5 numeric values, it will occupy the space for 5 numeric values. And this whole block is referred by a single reference variable f. अब क्या करेगा? इस पूरे ब्लॉक को रिफर करेगा वो किसी एक को नहीं कर रहा है. This whole block is referenced by a reference variable that is called f. Getting my point?
F.
Yes.
And now what happens that this whole block is referenced by a reference variable f, and internally, because at the time of storing you have told the array that how many integer value you want to store and the type of data is integer. So internally it also divides your, you can say, your block into the small part. ये internally divide करता है कैसे? इसको internally divide करता है that every block it gives a index 0. Internally क्या मानता है कि मैंने क्या दे दिया? हर block को internally क्या दे दिया? Address दे दिया. Are you getting my point? So
Yes.
it is something like that. You can take the example कि आपके ऑफिस में क्या होता है, in your office also आपने देखा होगा कि आपके अपने ऑफिस में they just try to create different conference rooms, ठीक है? तो पूरी बिल्डिंग के अंदर आपने एक कॉन्फ्रेंस रूम का वो एक जगह बनाते हैं, all the conference rooms are there and they will give us you can say numbers कि ये 0 है, ये 1 है. People usually take the name, कुछ नाम दे देते हैं, कुछ लोग 1 2 3 दे देते हैं. What the purpose of this thing? वो बोल देते हैं कि कॉन्फ्रेंस के सेक्शन में, मतलब जिस फ्लोर पे कॉन्फ्रेंस होता है आप वहां पे जाओगे, दैट इज द वन होल ब्लॉक और यू कैन से वन फ्लोर. यस और नो?
Yes.
और उस होल ब्लॉक में जाके आप ये बताते हो ये पहला ब्लॉक है, ये दूसरा है, ये तीसरा है. सो ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ दैट यू कैन डिवाइड इंटरनली, बट यू कैन रिफर दैट. आप कैसे बोलते हो भाई, somebody ask you where is your conference call hall room something like, you will say 8th floor. Getting my
Yes.
point?
Yes.
And
Yes.
in 8th floor internally you have different type of conference room. So usually you are referring the F with the whole block, and internally you are saying that first block is 0 1 2 3 and 4. Getting my point?
Yes.
Now how array actually stored, I have given you the example. I am going to store the same 5 values but with the help of array. So in that case what happens, you have declared only one reference variable. Now this reference variable along with the index try to store the value. What happens, reference variable is f but at the same time it use the concept of index. मतलब ये बोलता है कि f0 का मतलब इसको पता है f reference variable में the data reference variable which is pointing to the whole block, in the 0 block you have to store the value 2. Getting my point? So it means what it will do when you are saying f0 means on the f it will go to the f reference variable memory, and in the 0 part it will store the value 2.
0. 2.
Whatever value you want to store, it is going to the f0 but it is storing the value whatever you are writing right side. ठीक है?
1.
So if yes, in the f1 you can write 4. तो क्या करेगा, every time it is taking the reference variable but at the same time it is taking the help of indexing. So you want to store something in the first, you can say second place, so indexing says f1, indexing start from 0. Okay? So if you want to store something in the first place it is called f0, you want to store something in the second place it is called f1. So in this case what will happen, it will store the 4 value in the second block. Getting my point? That is called one index. Getting my point?
Yes.
Anybody have any doubt, you can ask me. This is very important topic and frequently you can say used in the automation. ये ऐसा है कि जो इंटरव्यू में केवल पूछा नहीं जाता है, इसका रियल इंप्लीमेंटेशन भी है. गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? तो यहाँ पे यू कैन स्टोर द सेम वैल्यू इन सेम वे. F2 में जाके 6 स्टोर हो जाएगा. Where is F2? F2 and it will 6. Same way it will go F3 7. F3 means this one. Okay, now it will store the value F4.
3.
Yes, F4 equal to 3. So now you got the point how array stores the value with the help of single reference variable, but using the indexing concept. Getting my point?
Yes.
तो इससे 2 फायदे होते हैं. मैं आपको बताता हूँ क्या फायदा हो. सबसे पहले, now tell me how many reference variable it is actually using to point your all values? Only one F. Yes or no?
Yes.
And second thing is benefit. Your all the numeric values are actually stored in the same sequence. ये मेमोरी में कहीं और नहीं स्टोर है, एक ही सीक्वेंस में 2 4 6 7 8 3. तो आप मुझे बताओ when you want to make an addition of array, it will be little bit fast. Yes or no? क्योंकि उसको आपके numbers कहाँ मिलेंगे? In the same sequence of memory. लेकिन if I will try to sum of number this one, it will little bit slow. क्यों slow होगा? Because values are distributed. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
And you can take the example of real life also. In the real life, you take the example. There is a class, और मैं बोलूंगा कि जितने भी weak student हैं, they have to sit on the front line. आप मुझे बताओ, अगर front line में मैं सारे कमजोर बच्चों को बिठा दूं, if I want to get the you can say name of you can say weak student, तो क्या करूंगा? मैं पहली रो में जाऊंगा और मुझे पता है पहला, उसके बगल में दूसरा, तीसरा. Everybody is a weak student. Yes or no?
Yes.
तो हमारे लिए your calculation, your iteration will be easy. और यहीं पे क्या हो, पूरी क्लास में it is distributed. You can say the good students, the weak students, everybody is distributed. तो मुझे I have to go one by one each and every student to find out whether it is a good or weak student. Yes or no?
Yes.
तो यहाँ पे इसीलिए whenever you are using a array concept, actually you are saving the memory, your calculation is fast. You can say in both the ways. How calculation is fast? Because memory allocation is consecutive. And one thing is that you are using a single reference variable. Getting my point?
Yes.
And this is the main, you can say, concept of array. That's why arrays are used. So in Java itself, for few concepts, internally, they mostly try to use the array. Now I will show you what happens that when you want to store this value, something, you use the concept of f0 and equal to. And when you want to read some value, you have to simply write f0. मतलब अगर आपको कुछ वैल्यू असाइन करनी होती है तो आप क्या लिखते हो, f0 equal to. And when you want to read some value from the f1, f2, so आप जैसे यहाँ पे क्या लिखते हो, you want to read some value, आप केवल a को रिफर करते हो ना, SOP में क्या लिखते हो, SYSOA, yes or no?
A.
It will read the value which is referred by a. और यहाँ पे क्या करोगे, it will read the value that is referred by f और जो भी इंडेक्स देनी है. Getting my point?
Yes.
आपको f. So the same concept is there. Same concept is in the single, you can say, data reference variable and in the array. Only the difference is that with the help of indexing concept, actually it can store multiple values. Getting my point?
Yes.
Only the challenge is only few things are there. Whenever you want to use the array, before that you have to declare the size. Getting my point? अब देखो, अगर मैंने यहाँ पे इसका size I have given the size of 4. You will not get any compilation error, but still you will see how many elements you can store, 4. How many elements I am storing here, 5. Yes or no?
Yes.
And I will run this program and you will see a error. So it will not provide any error while writing your code, but at runtime it will throw a error. That array index of down. But it is telling that your array size is not supporting the index 4. क्योंकि उसका element क्या है? उसका size है 4. तो index कहाँ तक बनेगी? 0 to 3. Getting my point? Yes, yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay, so this is the thing that it is one point that whenever you want to use a array, two restrictions are there. One is that before using the array, you have to declare the size. Once you have declared the size, you cannot go beyond that. अगर आपने यहाँ पे 5 साइज का array दे दिया है, तो in that case you cannot store more than 5 values. अगर मैं यहाँ पे देखो स्टोर करने की कोशिश करता हूँ, I will use the index f5. Yes or no?
Yes.
So while writing the code, it will not go any error. ये कोई error नहीं देगा. But when I run the code, just see what will happen. ये क्या बोल रहा है कि 5 नाम की कोई इंडेक्स है ही नहीं, because index is of 4.
5.
है ना? 5. जब size आपका 5 होता है, when your size is 5, index is from 0 to 4. Getting my point?
Yeah.
Second limitation with the array is that this is also known as you can say two concepts are there. One is called homogeneous and second is known as heterogeneous. What do you mean by homogeneous? When you can store same type of data, that is called homogeneous. And what is called heterogeneous? When you can reuse, you can store different type of data. So now here, what is the meaning of homogeneous and heterogeneous? Now tell me, with the help of one reference variable f, you are only store or refer only integer values. Yes or no? Are you getting my point? Can I use this thing कि मैं f0 से एक numeric value 2 store कर दूं और f1 में 4 की जगह क्या store कर दूं? Pradeep. Getting my point? ऐसा नहीं हो सकता because at the time of declaration आप एक बार में एक ही data type तो दोगे. Yes or no? If you have given at the time of declaration, you have given the data type of array int, तो आप integer बना सकते हो, सारी value integer होंगी. If you have declared the string, so every data which is available in your array, that is of type string. तो array में जो भी आपका data type होता है, that is called homogeneous. Getting my point? हाँ जी, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
ठीक है? तो यहाँ पे I will tell you, maybe you are thinking about that कि Pradeep, why you are saying this thing? Reason is that whenever you are storing a single variable, जब आप single variable में value store कर रहे हो, you are very clear. that you want to store a single value with numeric or string. लेकिन जब आप multiple values की capability यहाँ देता है तो एक बार आता है can we get the flexibility कि इसकी पहली इंडेक्स में मैं numeric रख दूं और दूसरी इंडेक्स में क्या रख दूं, integer, तीसरी इंडेक्स में मैं क्या रख दूं, float रख दूं. So is it possible or not? नहीं, ऐसा possible नहीं, because it is homogeneous. Getting my point?
Yes.
Yes.
And why I'm telling this thing, because to get rid of, or you can say to overcome this type of problem, they have introduced a concept that is called collections. उसमें इस चीज को शॉर्ट आउट किया गया है. तो वहां मैं आपको there I will show you that how you can store different type of values using a single reference variable. But that topic will come under collection. Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay, now what happens in this case? What happens? You have actually declared the array and then you have initialized the array. Okay, so you know that how many elements are there. But sometimes what happens? Somebody already created an array and just given you the reference variable. Okay, किसी ने क्या किया, आपको array बना के दिया है किसी function के अंदर and he is just returning the reference variable f. तो आपको कैसे पता चलेगा कि इसके अंदर कितने एलिमेंट हैं? Are you getting my point? In this case, f dot, there is a keyword that is called length. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
Yes.
ठीक है, मैं कैसे बता रहा हूँ? Why I'm saying this thing? I can give the example. आप ऐसे मान के चलो कि ये array आपने नहीं बनाया. Suppose somebody has created a function public and it will return an array int because I am creating, so I am returning an array and you can say my array. Suppose this is a function. Are you getting my point? और इस फंक्शन के अंदर क्या बनाया गया है? एरे बनाया.
Okay.
And this function is returning, I have told you the example, whenever you want to return something from the array, you have to write return f. Yes or no? The type of data. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
What is
Right.
no, public. Oh, I'm writing something wrong. No. Oh, sorry, I got this. Actually, I have written this function within another function. The function should be outside the main. Yeah, getting my point?
Yes.
This main function is one other function and my array is another function. Okay, so now just think about that. You are not aware about that what array is there, but you can call a function. You have called a function something like this. You will just do one thing. You will create the object of this class array demo equal to new array demo, and then you call the function ed dot my array. Getting my point? So what it will do? It will return array. Yes or no?
Yes.
So now if you want to, if somebody asks you that, can you print all the elements of this array? Just think about that. You have created an object, you call a function array and it is returning array. अब आप इसके element को कैसे print करोगे? First of all, you store in a array variable. So something like that. Int this one, and you will give a reference variable, something like that. Suppose AR. Getting my point? Now tell me, you do not know how many elements are stored in it, and you have to print one by one every element. So how you will do this? Tell me how you will do this. First of all, you should know how many elements are there. Yes or no? तो वो कैसे पता चलेगा? ARR dot length. तो देखो क्या करूंगा, जब मैं whenever run this thing, it will print the. Let me remove this thing. I don't need. Let me remove the whole this part so that I can focus on the. Now in this case, you will see it will print the length of. Okay, because I have declared the array in the wrong way. 5 I have given. Now let me run this. So it is giving the length 5, yes or no?
Yes.
Now it is just an assignment for you. Right now you have to tell me how you can, you know that this is the length of the array. Okay, and you know that element can be fetched with the help of indexing. Now anybody can tell me how you can print all the values within this array. Anybody? आपको मुझे बताना है इस array के अंदर सारी values print करके दिखानी है. आपको मैंने hint भी दे दी है. For loop. Array, yes, with the help of for loop you can do this. How? First of all, whenever you have to think about that, है ना, तो आपको देखो एक चीज सोचनी चाहिए. आप कभी for loop ना, आप simple ही सोचो कि how I can print the single value. अगर मुझे किसी एरे की सिंगल वैल्यू प्रिंट करनी होती कैसे करते? ARR सपोज 1, सपोज पहली वैल्यू, सो आई विल से 0. यस और नो?
Yes.
I think zero.
वेरी गुड. अब आप देखो, अगर मुझे एक वैल्यू प्रिंट करनी है, then in that case if I want to print the single value, I'm writing the code system.out.println ARR 0. Is it okay? So now tell me,
Yes.
I want to print the all values. It means I have to print the value from 0 to less than length, because
Less than.
length is the max value, and index start from 0 to less than length. So I can do one thing. I can take a variable, instead of 0 I can take I, and in the loop I will start from I. Int I equal to 0.
Zero.
Yes, then
I
I
less
will,
than
yes, I have to reach till the time it is less than length of array, ARR dot length. Yes or no?
Yes.
And then I have to increase, I have to
I
move
plus
to,
plus.
yes, so I will say
I
I plus. You agree on this, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
So in this way, just run it and it will be. So in this way, actually you have to do this thing. So here you have to take the example, and this thing can be asked in the interview. कि देखो आप जब एरे बनाते हो तब तो आपको पता है, लेकिन आप थोड़ी देर के लिए मान के चलो कि आपको पता ही नहीं कि यहाँ पे आपका एरे, किसी ने आपको बताया this class contains a function which is returning some array. Then you store the in a reference variable array. क्यों? This function is telling, जब आप इस function को कॉल कर रहे हो तो देखो बता रहा है ना, return type is array. Yes or no? ये देखो.
Yes.
Dot. It is telling the return type is array of int. तो आपको ये तो बता रहा है, बट ये तो बता ही नहीं रहा how many elements are there. So they can ask you that कैसे आप बताओगे, how you can print it. So first of all, you have stored in a reference variable, and the reference variable you call a keyword that is called length. So it will return a length. ये length दे देगा, है ना? And then you can make a loop. Loop क्यों बनाओगे? Because you want to print a single value, you write AR index. लेकिन आपको सारी index चाहिए, so you will take a reference variable I, और इसकी indexing कहाँ से दी? You start from 0 and you are going till less than AR dot length. Are you getting my point?
सर
Yeah.
सर इसमें जो लेंथ है वो लेंथ कैसे पता चलेगी? मतलब जैसे कि अगर कोई वैल्यू नहीं दी है इंट के अंदर, है ना, सपोज इंट 5 देते तो साइज ऑफ या लेंथ उसकी 5 होती, 0 1 2 3 4. अब यहाँ पे एरे डॉट लेंथ हम निकाल रहे हैं, पर वो लेंथ निकालेगा कैसे?
हाँ, because I told you this thing. When you call this function, it is returning the array reference variable. Yes or no?
ठीक है,
So
ओके.
now just think about that. यहाँ पे you have only the difference that you have created the array and then you have assigned this value. तो variable में क्या, value में क्या हुई? In the memory, what is happening? This reference is variable actually referring to this whole block. Yes or no? और जब आप इस पे कीवर्ड चलाते हो AR dot, ये आपका array है. You have stored this array in a reference variable. Yes or no? तो ये किसको पॉइंट करेगा? This is pointing to the that returning array. Yes or no?
सर तो मतलब जो आप ये एग्जांपल दे रहे हैं इसमें ये f को कंसीडर करते हुए दे रहे हैं क्या? int f इक्वल टू int new
नहीं
5.
मैं आप इसको कंसीडर आप इसको ये कंसीडर करो कि दिस array is something. You can take the example कि ये यहाँ पे लिखा भी नहीं गया. Take the example in some other class. Take the example of Rabia. Let me do one thing. This function is written actually in the any other class. Take the example of Rabia. Rabia की क्लास में एक फंक्शन है. Are you getting my point? एक पब्लिक फंक्शन है जिसके अंदर एक एरे बना हुआ. Now in your class you want to retrieve that array. आप अपनी क्लास में उस एरे को क्या करना चाहते हो? रिट्रीव करना चाहते हो. Getting my point? तो आप क्या करोगे? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यू क्रिएट द ऑब्जेक्ट ऑफ राबिया क्लास, क्योंकि राबिया के अंदर वो फंक्शन है. यस और नो?
Yes.
So you created the object of Rabia class. Then you call, आपने क्या किया? Then you call AD. AD is the reference variable of Rabia. AD dot my array. You called it. Yes or no?
Okay.
तो अब now what will happen? It will go to this array. जब आपने कॉल किया ये यहाँ पे जाएगा. Yes or no? So what it will do? It will do everything and it will return the reference variable f. तो f के अंदर सारी values तो store है. Yes or no? And it will return to, तो यहाँ पे जो array का आपका जो ये आएगा, whatever that is you have stored in a local array variable. वहां से एक array return हुआ in the ARR. No, in your array demo program आपने एक ARR बनाया जिसको उसमें store किया. Getting my point? नहीं, if you have a doubt, don't worry, don't say yes or no. अगर आपको doubt है, that's why this session is very very unique. If you have a doubt, you can ask me anything. We can take the example of add. आप मुझे बताओ add में क्या होता है? I'm taking the example of add function. ये add function है. ठीक है. This add function actually have a capability to add two numbers, int a and b. Yes or no?
Yes.
then I declare a variable int c equal to a plus 1. Is it okay?
Correct.
And then when somebody is the purpose of
Return
this
C.
function to return the to return the addition. अब मुझे बताओ इस function, oh so I've written the wrong spell of RETURN. Okay, now you want to pass two numbers and get the sum of these two numbers. What you will do, आप इसी array domain में, just for the timing, just forget about this. आपने क्या किया, 80 dot add, yes or no? Then you pass two numbers 5 and 6. Yes or no?
Yes.
So now it will return the value addition of two numbers, that is C. Yes or no?
Yes.
And you want to store in Rabia class, in array demo class, so you will create another local variable in array demo class. एक बनाओगे ना कोई भी G कुछ भी. Yes or no? And this G contains the value which is written by this function. Yes or no?
Okay.
Are you getting my point? अच्छा ये return क्या कर रहा है? Actually you are thinking that it is returning. Actually what happens whenever it is returning C means whatever is referred by the C, what is stored in the C. Yes or no? तो यहाँ पे C में क्या store है? जो number आप दे रहे हो, the sum of these two numbers. Yes or no?
Yes.
And in my array function, same thing is there. Only the difference is that here instead of giving the sum of number, it is giving the array reference variable, which is actually this array, which is stored the value 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3. जो भी ये वैल्यू स्टोर करी इसको कौन रिफर कर रहा है? F. Are you getting my point? तो ये पूरा रेफरेंस F का मतलब इंस्टेड ऑफ यहाँ पे आप सिंगल वैल्यू रिटर्न करा रहे हो और यहाँ पे क्या वैल्यू रिटर्न कर रहे हैं? पूरे एरे में जो पड़ी है. Getting my point?
Yes.
So when this is written F, it will stored. Where you are getting the F? ये जब रिटर्न करेगा, you are getting F or not? Tell me. आप जब इसको कॉल करोगे तो क्या रिटर्न करेगा? इस F को रिटर्न करेगा.
Yes.
Now tell me, when it was returning the single integer value, तो आपने एक single variable बनाया. It is returning an array, so you will create an array reference variable. Yes or no?
Correct. Yes.
जैसी value return करेगा वैसे ही आप reference variable बनाओगे. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
So in this case, you need a array reference variable. So you created an array reference variable.
Okay.
Now here it is giving you the value which is stored in the C. C में जो value थी उसी को कौन point करने लगा? G. यहाँ पे ARI किसको point करेगा? जिसको F point कर रहा था. Yes or no? Because
Yes.
F को ही return. Now whatever is applicable on the F, that is applicable on the ARI. तो जब F में अगर आप यहाँ पे array की length निकालते तो निकाल सकते थे F dot length. Yes or no?
Yes.
आपका F array था तो you can get the length of FL length. Yes or no?
Yes.
है ना? तो यहाँ पे इसी F को it is written through the function my array and you store in an array. तो अगर array भी इसी को point कर रहा है, so when you say array dot length, it will actually give the length of F array. Yes or no?
Yes.
No. I got your point. You are getting? Who
Yes.
asked this thing?
Yes, sir, I'm getting, sir. Like first we are storing the value in the array, int, then bracket array. Then we are trying to find out what is the length of that array.
Yes, and
in the
you
next
can
line.
and you can think about it. Maybe I'm getting the where you are confusing. The thing is that when you are writing my array,
No, I
actually
was thinking like why we are getting the length of the array. So where is the now I got it. Like earlier I had a doubt like why where is the array length? Like from
Okay.
where it will get the length.
Yes, it will get the length and everything it is get from this reference variable, right? In case it is storing the sum, in this case it is storing the array. So
Yeah,
this
now
reference
I
variable,
got it.
okay,
Yeah.
so this reference variable actually contains a keyword. इसको बोलते हैं keyword. It is not a function. Array के पास एक keyword होता है that is called length और ये return करता है length. Okay, so with the help of this length, I achieve my thing that I will start from I0 and will go to the length and then I can print each and every one. Getting my point? Anybody have else any question? Yes or no?
No.
Everybody? Sukesh, Payal, Ranjita, Shreyas, Shruti?
No, sir.
Okay. So in the meantime, sometimes I also try to speak in Hindi. So if anybody is not getting, you can ping me. Pradeep, please tell me. Okay, maybe sometime. Okay. So anybody have still any doubt? You can tell me. No or good to go? Okay. So now I am going to tell you about another topic which is also an important topic in Java, and that is called exception. Now the question is, what is exception? I will tell you. I have already given an example of exception like index, but here I am giving the example. Suppose I'm writing a code. Same code I'm writing here, which I have written in Rabia. Let me take another example. I'm taking a variable, just think I'm taking a variable int a. Okay, and you can think about that int a is taken by some user. Are you getting my point? The value of a is taken by a user as input. I have already told you about the scanner class. Yes or no?
Yes.
So you can think about that. आप ये समझ सकते हो. Don't take the example that I have taken a hard-coded value. This a equal to given by the user. Int b, some value is given by the user. Getting my point? Then I'm taking a variable int c, and in c I'm trying to do one thing: a divide by b. Getting my point? And when this is good, I want to do one thing: sys, and I want to print the value of c. Are you getting my point? And before that, let me do one thing. I want to execute this program. So I'm in the starting, I'm writing a statement, start program. Okay. And then I'm writing a statement at the end of the program to so that I come to know that my whole program is executed. Getting my point?
Yes.
So now tell me, what is your expectation when you are running your code and you have not written any if else block here? So every line should be executed. Yes or no? आपकी लाइन नंबर 6 से लेकर 11 तक सारी लाइन चलनी चाहिए because you have not written a conditional statement. So it means every line should be executed. Yes or no?
Yes.
So I'm writing this thing and you will see it is running or not. And you will come to know that everything is running because you have seen the first statement printing as well as the last one. Yes or no?
Yes.
So it is telling you that your program is running perfectly. Now think about that. This was a scenario when somebody has given the input for a equal to 4 and given the input for b equal to 2. Now take the example when somebody has given the input b equal to 0. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
Are you able to see any compilation error in your code? It is telling you
No.
there is some error? No.
No.
But when I run this code, you will see a one thing. Now tell me, start program is printed?
Yes.
End program is printed?
No.
No.
No. It means what happens, there is a condition when you have written a code and your code is interrupted in between. That's why your complete code is not executed. This is called your exception. This is called your exception. जब आपने कोड लिखा है और कोड के बीच में कहीं कोई प्रॉब्लम आ गई, उसके बाद आगे की जितनी भी लाइनें होती हैं वो रन नहीं कर पाती हैं, and that is called termination. That is called termination. That at some point of line, at some point of a statement, it got some problem, and due to that, it is not able to proceed the execution. At that point, the program is terminated. Getting my point? And this is not a good thing in your programming also. Programming में आप मुझे बताओ, it is something like that. अगर किसी लाइन पे प्रॉब्लम आई है, so instead of terminate the program, you should have the option कि आप वहां पे बताओ क्या प्रॉब्लम है और ताकि rest of the thing should be run. Yes or no?
Yes.
आप मुझे बताओ, suppose take the example, this line have a problem. क्या इस लाइन में कोई प्रॉब्लम थी? It was just like a statement to print end program. एक मैसेज तो प्रिंट करना पड़ता. इस लाइन में क्या इंडिविजुअली कोई प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है? नहीं.
No.
लेकिन इस लाइन की वजह से you can see it is telling you that the program given the error at line number 9. Are you able to see exception demo line Java 9? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
अगर लाइन 9 में कोई प्रॉब्लम थी तो उसकी वजह से मेरा चलो 10 नहीं चल पाया. I got it because 10 is totally depend on 9. डिपेंड है ना भाई, C की वैल्यू कैलकुलेट करेगा वही प्रिंट करेगा. Yes or no?
Yes.
But 11 number line is independent of everybody. Yes or no?
Yes.
इसका तो कोई मतलब ही नहीं था, इसमें एक नाम ही तो लिखा था प्रिंट. So the thing is that this is called abnormal condition. When your program is terminated in between, this is not a good thing, and this is known as exception. When your program is terminated, not executed properly in a sequential manner, This is called your exception. Getting my point? तो ऐसी कंडीशन जब आती है, so this is the bad approach. So in Java we should always handle exception, and this is known as exception handling. Getting my point? ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे हम क्या करेंगे, we will do one thing. दो तरह की exception होती है, one is called checked exception and another is called unchecked exception. ठीक है, I will give the another example. यहाँ पे मैं I will do one thing. Let me write another program, then I will show you. अच्छा, यहाँ पे what will happen? इस केस में क्या हुआ प्रोग्राम में, at time of compilation it has not given any error, but at run time it has thrown the exception. Yes or no? कंपाइल करते वक्त इसने कोड में कोई एरर नहीं दी, है ना? जब प्रोग्राम चला तो इसने क्या दे दी? It terminated the program. Getting my point?
Yes.
And second scenario I'll tell you. I'm writing a program here. देखो, ध्यान से देखना. I will do one thing. File. I'm writing a program to read data from the file. मैं इस फाइल को एक रीड करने का प्रोग्राम लिखा हूँ. So in Java, whenever you want to read some data from the file, you have to create the object of the file. Java in Java, it is a OOPS based language. So everything, it is the, you can say, behavior of the Java, that everything should be treated as a object. तो देखो आपके सिस्टम में डेस्कटॉप एक फाइल में, I'm just creating a file here. I'm just creating a text file here, and just the name of this text file. Suppose take the example Gulam. Okay, Gulam नाम की एक फाइल है. Getting my point?
Yes.
I will do one thing. I want to read this file. So let me first of all try to get the path of this file. So if path है file का, ठीक है? So I will go in Java. Whenever you want to read a file, you have to create the object of a file. आपको उसको object में convert करना होता है. And how it is possible? Just create the file class, and in the constructor of file object you have to pass the path. This one, and at last you will write gulam.txt. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
This one. So I will write the complete one. Is it okay?
Yes.
So in this line, what will happen? I will tell you same thing when I will take the topic of file handling. But here I am just again giving you so that it will just like a revision for you, that whenever you want to work on a file, you want to read some data from a file, or you want to write some data in a file, you first of all, this is the first step to create the file into the file object in the memory. सबसे पहले आपको क्या करना पड़ता है, उस फाइल को जो पाथ लेके उसको मेमोरी में किसमें कन्वर्ट करना पड़ता है, एज ए ऑब्जेक्ट. And the file class is responsible for that. Getting my point?
Yes.
Now the second line is that now you have to decide you want to read some data from the file or you want to write some data from the file. I want to read some data. In that case, you have to convert this file object. Again, you have to create another object to read some data. And in that case, you have to convert this file object into the another object which has a capability to read the data. And for that purpose, you have to use a file that is called file input stream. Getting my point?
Yes.
Java में कोई भी काम करते हैं, everything is treated as a object. तो मैंने फाइल का ऑब्जेक्ट तो बना लिया, लेकिन इस फाइल के ऑब्जेक्ट को मुझे I want to convert in a form so that I can read the data from this file. So in that case, you have to convert that file object into the read mode. Getting my point?
Yes.
तो उसको करने के लिए देखो हम फिर से क्या करेंगे, I have just created a object of file input stream and I will pass the file object here. You will see when I write this thing, it will also show you. ये दिखा रहा है इसमें आपको, देखो पहला कंस्ट्रक्टर, it is expecting a file object, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
तो यहाँ पे जो आपने file object बनाया, you have created in the previous line, you can passing here. So what it will do? It will try to, it will not, it will try to create a read mode to read the data from the file. Yes or no? ये क्या करेगा, उससे रीड मोड बनाएगा ताकि उसको रीड करने के लिए क्या करेगा, एक रीड मोड बनाएगा कि मैं उससे डेटा को रीड करने के लिए तैयार हूं. गेटिंग माय पॉइंट?
Yes.
अच्छा, यू कैन ट्रस्ट ऑन मी दैट आई हैव रिटन दिस कोड परफेक्टली. यहाँ पे एक रेड लाइन आ रही है, लेकिन आप मुझ पे ट्रस्ट करो कि मैंने जो कोड लिखा है, आई हैव रिटन दिस बोथ द लाइन आई हैव रिटन इन ए प्रॉपर वे. कैन यू ट्रस्ट ऑन मी कि मैंने इस लाइन में कोई भी एरर नहीं करी है?
Yes.
लेकिन स्टिल यू विल से कि प्रदीप, जब आप बोल रहे हो कि आपने लाइन में कोई एरर नहीं करी है, सो व्हाई इट इज शोइंग मी अ रेड लाइन? सो यू विल सी वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग थिंग. व्हेन आई पुट अ कर्सर ऑन दिस लाइन, व्हाट इट इज टेलिंग यू?
Unhandled exception type.
Try catch.
Just write the just read the complete unhandled exception type.
File not found exception.
So in Java there is one beautiful thing. In this case, what happens? Whenever you are writing this code at the time of compilation, your Java is making a doubt. Java is making a doubt that if this file do not exist on this place. Getting my point? What
Yes.
I will do, it will throw a error at runtime, file not found. Getting my point? तो जावा में देखो इस कोड में सिर्फ एक डिफरेंस ये था जो कि मेरे ऊपर वाले कोड में नहीं था. द डिफरेंस इज दैट एट द टाइम ऑफ कंपाइलेशन उसने आपको चेक करके बता दिया कि ऐसी प्रॉब्लम आ सकती है. आर यू गेटिंग? इट इज नॉट 100% श्योर दैट इट विल कम, बट ही इज जस्ट मेकिंग अ इंटीमेशन फॉर दैट. आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट?
Yes.
Yes.
एंड यू कैन
ऊपर क्यों नहीं, मतलब ऊपर भी आ सकता था, मतलब एक्सेप्शन.
Yes, because the thing is that it is written in the Java in such a way. Are you getting my point? Java में उसको ऐसे लिखा गया है कि that type of exception is treated as a unchecked exception and here is treated as a checked exception. अब मैं बताता हूँ checked exception क्या होती है. When you are writing any code and your code can be interrupted or can throw exception at runtime and this is checked by the compiler, this is called checked exception. यानी कि जो फाइल नॉट फाउंड की एक्सेप्शन होती है वो क्या होती है? चेक्ड. आपके कोड करते वक्त जावा कंपाइलर कैन इंटीमेट यू. गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? और यहां पे whenever you are writing a code, this one where it was throwing it can throw an error, that is called arithmetic exception. ये देखो divide by zero. इसका जो इंटीमेशन था जावा ने आपको क्या दिया? they do not give you the intention at compile time. Getting my point? Getting my
Yes.
point?
Yes.
तो दो तरह की एक्सेप्शन होती हैं. नाउ योर क्वेश्चन इज आल्सो वैलिड कि वहां पे ऐसा क्यों नहीं किया गया. सो देयर कैन बी सो मेनी रीजंस. जावा ने उसको नहीं किया, इट मींस सो मेनी डिपेंडेंसीज ऑन द यूजर आल्सो. गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट?
Yes.
तो आपको उसका जावा ने नहीं किया. The thing is that it is totally you can say something like that is not. अगर जावा ने अपने कंपाइलेशन यानी लाइब्रेरी में कंपाइलर में लिख दिया जाए कि कहीं पे भी जो दो नंबर को डिवाइड कर रहे हैं, जब भी हम किसी दो नंबर को डिवाइड कर रहे हैं, you should raise a concern. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, so they should consider. लेकिन उन्हें क्यों नहीं किया मैं बताता हूँ. The thing about that, now tell me, whenever this code is compiled, at the time of compilation, क्या उसे पता चल पाएगा कि B में कौन सी वैल्यू रख रहा है? Value assignment is always do at runtime. Yes or no? Compile
Yes.
करते वक्त क्या चेक करता है? Compile at the time of compilation, it only checks the syntax. क्या syntax है? एक value 4 है. It is a numeric value. You can store in a int numeric value. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
It is a B. This is a numeric value. उसे नहीं पता है कि आप 0 स्टोर करोगे. उसको सिर्फ ये पता है कि राइट साइड एक न्यूमेरिक वैल्यू है जिसको आप किसमें स्टोर कर रहे हो? B में. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
Then it is just thinking about that you have taken a variable C where you are just trying to store a calculation A divided by B. उसे नहीं पता है कि A में क्या पड़ा है, B में क्या पड़ा है. उसे बस ये पता है you are trying to make a division of two numbers. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
तो उसको कैसे वो आपको इंटीमेट करे कि आपको एक्सेप्शन तो तभी आएगी ना जब इसकी वैल्यू क्या होगी? इट विल बी 0. Yes or no?
Yes.
तो उसको पता भी नहीं है कि yes. Yes, tell me. Tell me, I'm not able to hear you.
सॉरी सर, इस केस में ये चेक्ड एक्सेप्शन होगा या अनचेक्ड? मतलब अर्थमेटिक एक्सेप्शन तो होगा, बट ये भी चेक और अनचेक के केस में आता है क्या?
It is unchecked exception. Unchecked means which is not checked at compile time, which is not identified, you can say, which is not identified or intimated.
या राइट सर, जो फाइल वाला आपने एग्जांपल दिया है उसमें मतलब कंपाइलेशन के टाइम पे ये रेड इसलिए दे रहा है बिकॉज मतलब ये जावा का बिहेवियर है कि
Yes.
मतलब वो ये कंसीडर कर रहा है कि हो सकता है फाइल ना हो तो क्या.
Yes, it is. देखो हमको जावा में जो भी चीज लिखी है जावा में, हमने उसमें जावा में जब लिखी होगी तो जैसे उसको लिखा गया वी आर जस्ट लाइक ए यूजर. यस और नो? है ना? तो जावा में लिखा गया है कि जब भी आप कभी फाइल टाइप की हैंडलिंग का कोड लिखोगे एंड यू आर यूजिंग अ फाइल इनपुट स्ट्रीम और यू आर ट्राइंग टू यूज अ फाइल आउटपुट स्ट्रीम, इट कैन मेक ए डाउट ऑफ एग्जिस्टेंस ऑफ फाइल. यस और नो?
यस.
ठीक है. तो यहाँ पे अनचेक्ड एक्सेप्शन क्या होती है? ऐसी एक्सेप्शन विच which is not identified at compile time but can why I'm saying can throw, क्योंकि देखो अगर ये नंबर अगर 2 होता तो एक्सेप्शन नहीं होती, अगर ये 0 का, so identified which is not identified at compile time but can throw at run time. Getting my point? एक्सेप्शन तो हमेशा कब थ्रो होगी, रन टाइम पे, लेकिन जब कंपाइल टाइम पे वो आइडेंटिफाई ना हो, दैट इज कॉल्ड अनचेक्ड, एंड चेक्ड इज व्हिच इज आइडेंटिफाइड एट कंपाइल टाइम. जो कंपाइल टाइम पे ही आइडेंटिफाइड हो जाए दैट इज कॉल्ड चेक्ड एक्सेप्शन. चेक्ड मतलब चेक्ड इन रिस्पेक्ट ऑफ कंपाइलर. कंपाइलर जिसको चेक कर पा रहा है कंपाइल करते वक्त कोड, दैट इज कॉल्ड चेक्ड एक्सेप्शन. जिसको नहीं कर पाया दैट इज कॉल्ड अनचेक्ड. अब ये बताओ, मैं इस कोड को बताऊं, मैं आपसे बोल रहा हूं दिस कोड इज रिटन इन ए प्रॉपर वे बट स्टिल इट इज गिविंग यू अ डाउट दैट योर फाइल विल कैन मे बी फाइल डू नॉट एग्जिस्ट. गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? हाँ जी, यस और नो? ठीक है,
यस.
अब देखो व्हाट इज हैपनिंग, दिस इज रिटन इन द जावा प्रॉपर वे. अब देखो यहाँ पे एक क्वेश्चन है, यहाँ पे व्हाट थिंग इज इन केस ऑफ अनचेक्ड, आपने प्रोग्राम लिखा, प्रॉब्लम थी नहीं थी, इट इज नॉट आइडेंटिफाई, यू आर एबल टू रन द प्रोग्राम बिकॉज देयर इज नो एरर, तो आप प्रोग्राम रन कर पा रहे हो. बट इन केस ऑफ चेक्ड एक्सेप्शन, आई एम टेलिंग यू दिस कोड इज रिटन प्रॉपरली, मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ ये कोड बिल्कुल सही लिखा है, बट स्टिल टिल द टाइम यू आर नॉट एबल टू रिजॉल्व दिस एक्सेप्शन हैंडलिंग, आप प्रोग्राम चला ही नहीं सकते क्योंकि इसमें एरर आ रही है. यस और नो?
यस.
और ये एरर, व्हाट दिस एरर इज सेइंग दैट, इट इज सेइंग दैट आई एम इंटीमेटिंग यू दैट योर फाइल maybe file is not available, so in that case you have to take a decision. Are you getting my point? तो ये आपको कंपेल कर रहा है कि आपको मैं बता रहा हूं ऐसी प्रॉब्लम आ सकती है, अब आपकी मर्जी है, you want to ignore it or you want to make a solution for that. Okay, so for this thing I will give you the good example. एक एग्जांपल बताता हूं and that will be very very close to the real world. I can take the example of a boy. ठीक है, एक लड़का है जो इस घर में रहता है. Okay, and he is orphan. Are you getting my point? Everybody know the orphan? Everybody know the meaning of orphan? एक लड़का है जो क्या है, अनाथ है, उसका कोई नहीं घर में, तो वो घर में रह रहा है. So now one day he was trying to come out of the house. वो एक बार घर से बाहर आने के लिए निकल रहा था. At that time, मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ, at that time what happens? The weather was little bit that it may rain. Are you getting my point? मौसम ऐसा था कि लग रहा था कि बारिश हो सकती है. Getting my point? So when the boy was trying to come out of the home, nobody has intimated him. Nobody has intimated him कि भाई एक काम करो, उसके कोई पेरेंट्स तो होते नहीं जो उसको इंटीमेट करते कि भाई एक काम करो, बाहर जा रहे हो, you can do one thing, you can take the umbrella with you. Yes or no? What will happen? If there will be rain, you can use the umbrella. Yes or no?
Yes.
तो यहाँ पे जो कंपाइलर है, the you can say the compiler, जो पेरेंट्स थे, they just like you can say compiler, लेकिन वहां पे कंपाइलर या जो भी कह सकते हैं, it was not available, it was not able to identify, nobody was you can say ready to give the intimation कि उस लड़के को बताते कि बाहर जाओगे तो ऐसा हो सकता है. What will happen? Both the conditions are possible. If he will go out of the room, अगर बारिश हुई तो भीग जाएगा, नहीं हुई तो वापस आ जाएगा. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes or no? Now consider the sinner. So this is the case of unchecked exception कि उसने ऐसा, nobody has intimated him, तो जैसा भी होगा दोनों कंडीशन है, अगर नंबर पॉजिटिव है so it will make a division properly, if number is 0 it will throw the error. मतलब अगर बारिश हुई तो भीग जाएगा, नहीं तो it will come back safely. Getting my point?
Yes.
Now second example, the boy was not an orphan, उसके पेरेंट्स थे, तो जब वो निकल रहा था, so parent have just intimated him, please do, if you are going outside, please take the umbrella, I have a doubt that it may rain. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
So यहाँ पे क्या हुआ, कंपाइलर ने उसको इंटीमेट किया, कंपाइलर ने इंटीमेट किया that whenever you are trying to go outside, आप बाहर जा रहे हो, तो I am intimating you it may rain. वो 100% तो नहीं बोल सकते, it may rain. And when you are going to rain, so इससे क्या फायदा हुआ, जब उसको कोई इंटीमेट कर रहा है, so now he has two solutions, now he has two options. एक तो क्या करें, जो हम जनरली हमारी आज की जनरेशन करती है, इग्नोर द पेरेंट्स. क्या बोलते हैं, अरे ये तो ऐसे ही बोलते हैं, जस्ट लीव द हाउस, कोई बारिश वारिश नहीं है. बट दैट इज टेकन केयर बाय, दैट इज योर ओन डिसीजन. यस और नो? किसी ने आपको रोका लेकिन आपने डिसीजन क्या लिया, इग्नोर कर दिया. यस और नो?
Yes.
एंड सेकंड सॉल्यूशन इज दैट आप ये भी कर सकते थे, बिकॉज योर पेरेंट इंटीमेटेड यू कैन टेक द अम्ब्रेला विद यू। आप कहते चलो यार बारिश हो सकती है, अगर बोल रहे हैं तो अम्ब्रेला ले लेते हैं। बारिश हो गई तो आई विल ओपन द अम्ब्रेला, नहीं तो ऐसे ही आ जाएंगे। बट इन बोथ द केसेस आई एम सेफ। यस और नो?
Yes.
So
Yes.
here this checked exception is also something like that. आपका कंपाइलर आपको बोल रहा है कि मे बी दिस फाइल डू नॉट एग्जिस्ट, अगर नहीं हुई तो ये कोड आपका एक्सेप्शन थ्रो कर देगा। इसका मतलब वो ये नहीं बोल रहा आपसे कि ऐसा हो गई, लेकिन वो बोल रहा है कि अगर ऐसा हुआ तो आपको एक्सेप्शन आएगी। मैं आपसे पहले से बोल रहा हूं that you should take a solution for that. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
Yes.
Now you will see that's why it is giving you two options. Up when you click a cursor on that, it will give you two options: add throws, surround with track. Add throws means compiler ने बोला it can throw a error, आपने बोला ignore. Add throws means ignore. आपने कहा छोड़ो, मेरे को परवाह नहीं. You will see it has added a line throws file not find in your syntax of function, and your code is now ready to run. Error चली गई.
Yes.
तो इस केस में जानते क्या किया? पेरेंट्स ने बोला इट में रेन, आपने बोला अरे छोड़ो यार, ठीक है, आपने बता दिया, आपका काम खत्म हो गया, मुझे कोई जरूरत नहीं है. व्हाट विल हैपन नाउ? टू कंडीशंस आर देयर. दिस फाइल एग्जिस्ट देयर, योर कोड विल रन प्रॉपर्ली. यस और नो?
Yes.
स्टार्ट एनी प्रोग्राम. यस और नो?
Yes.
नाउ
Yes.
सेकंड सिनेरियो, इफ दिस फाइल इज नॉट देयर. चलो मैं डिलीट करता हूं आपके सामने. आई डिलीटेड गुलाम. नाउ रन द सेम प्रोग्राम. मैंने केवल फाइल डिलीट की. व्हाट विल हैपन? यस और नो?
Yes.
तो आपका देखो क्या हुआ, जब फाइल थी देयर इज नो प्रॉब्लम, बट व्हेन फाइल वाज नॉट देयर आपका प्रोग्राम टर्मिनेट हुआ. इट हैज नॉट एग्जीक्यूटेड दिस लाइन. यस और नो?
सर ये तो सेम ऊपर की तरह ही हो गया ना, मतलब थ्रोस।
हाँ, लेकिन एक डिफरेंस हुआ. वेरी गुड. एक डिफरेंस क्या हुआ, यहाँ पे किसी ने इंटीमेट नहीं किया था आपको, लेकिन यहाँ पे आपको कंपाइलर ने बोला ऐसा हो सकता है, आपने सुन के भी एडवाइस को इग्नोर कर दिया. गेटिंग माई पॉइंट? सो नाउ इट मीन्स अगर आपने यहाँ थ्रो कर दिया तो अब इसमें और इसमें कोई डिफरेंस ही नहीं रहेगा. यस और नो? लेकिन दोनों में एक डिफरेंस तो है. मेरी बात समझ रहे हो? यहाँ पे हियर द एग्जांपल इज दैट आपके पेरेंट्स ने टोका तो आपने नहीं माना, यहाँ तो किसी ने टोका ही नहीं. आर यू गेटिंग माई पॉइंट? In the case of unchecked exception, nobody has interrupted you and make a doubt. You have just made an intimation. No. Don't do this. It may create a problem. आपको किसी ने बोला नहीं, so you are good to go. But here somebody has interrupted you. It may create a problem. I'm intimating you, but still you are ignoring. Yes or no? You got the difference between the unchecked and checked exception?
अरे समझ नहीं आया.
आ गया. नाउ दैट्स व्हाई आई गिवन द एग्जांपल. अब देखो, अगर मैं इस सोल्यूशन को नहीं लेता, इफ आई एम नॉट रेडी टू दिस सोल्यूशन, तो सोल्यूशन तो आपको फोर्स कर रहा है, एक तो आपको लेना पड़ेगा ही. मतलब आपके घर से बाहर निकलते ही पेरेंट्स तो आपको टोकेंगे ही. मतलब आप कल को ब्लेम नहीं कर सकते कि मुझे किसी ने बताया नहीं. आपको बताया, बट यू हैव नॉट टेकन द राइट डिसीजन. आर यू गेटिंग माई पॉइंट?
Yes.
Yes.
अब देखो यहाँ पे करने का फायदा क्या था, उसने आपको, देखो यहाँ तो किसी ने टोका नहीं, nobody has interrupted you, so you run the program and at run time it was, the value was 0, so it got interrupted. But here somebody is interrupting you, तो आपने बोला अरे यार अगर ये बोल रहा है तो इसका मतलब प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है, क्यों ना एक सोल्यूशन ले ले. और ये मुझे बोल रहा है, एक सोल्यूशन तो लेना पड़ेगा. इग्नोरिंग इज आल्सो अ सोल्यूशन. आपने इग्नोर कर दिया, अगर आपने इग्नोर कर दिया तो कोई फायदा नहीं. यू शुड टेक अ सोल्यूशन फॉर दैट. So the solution is that surround with try catch. What is surround with try catch? It is saying that कि जिस लाइन में आपकी प्रॉब्लम आपको आ सकती है, you should keep that line within a try block. दिख रहा है ब्लॉक जिसके बाहर क्या लिखा? What is written? Try. Getting my point?
Yes.
तो ये क्या बोलता है एक्सेप्शन हैंडलिंग, कि जिस भी लाइन में आपको वो डाउट कर रहा है कि प्रॉब्लम आ सकती है, you should wrap in a block. उसको किसमें wrap कर देना चाहिए? Try block में. And it give you a solution. It give you a place to give a solution. ये कहता है कि अगर इस लाइन में कोई प्रॉब्लम आई तो मैं आपके प्रोग्राम को टर्मिनेट नहीं करूंगा. I will take your control to the another place that is called catch. तो ये आपको एक चीज बोला है, कह रहा है ऐसा नहीं करूंगा, आपकी इसमें प्रॉब्लम आई तो प्रॉब्लम आ गई, कोई बात नहीं, मैं आपको ऐसा नहीं करूंगा कि उठा के प्रोग्राम से बाहर फेंक दिया. मैं आपको एक ऐसी जगह भेजूंगा जहां पे इफ यू वांट टू गिव अ सॉल्यूशन फॉर दैट यू कैन मेक अ सॉल्यूशन. तो देखो ये टर्मिनेट नहीं करेगा. आप उस ब्लॉक में क्या कर सकते हो? यू कैन राइट एनी सॉल्यूशन. एंड नाउ व्हाट इज द वर्स्ट सॉल्यूशन? अगर ये फाइल एग्जिस्ट नहीं कर सकती है, सो एटलीस्ट इंस्टीड ऑफ मेकिंग अ टर्मिनेशन, आप एक मैसेज डाल देते हैं ना, अच्छा सा मैसेज, टर्मिनेट किए बिना file is not available. Getting my point?
Yes.
लेकिन आपका फायदा क्या हुआ? आपका फायदा हुआ आफ्टर दिस मैसेज योर प्रोग्राम विल कंटिन्यू टू द नेक्स्ट लाइन. देखो मैं आपको दिखाता हूं. फाइल इज स्टिल अवेलेबल ऑन योर डेस्कटॉप? नो. नाउ लेट मी गो एंड रन इट एंड टेल मी file is still not there, but you are able to see both the statement start and end. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
तो आपको ट्राई एंड कैच ने बोला कि जिस लाइन में द लाइन विच कैन क्रिएट अ प्रॉब्लम यू कैन रैप इन ए ट्राई. सो व्हाट इज हैपन इफ समथिंग इज रिटन इन ट्राई? तो ये क्या करता है, ट्राई में अगर कोई प्रॉब्लम आती है तो आपके प्रोग्राम को टर्मिनेट करता है. इट टेक योर कंट्रोल टू द कैच ब्लॉक. आपको उठा के यहाँ पटक देता है. आप यहाँ पे जो सोल्यूशन दोगे इसके बाद रेस्ट ऑफ द प्रोग्राम विल बी रन इन द simple manner. So this is the good thing, yes or no?
Yes.
ठीक है. So now one benefit is there. The case is that now somebody will say कि प्रदीप इस लाइन में प्रॉब्लम आ गई तो कंट्रोल कहाँ जाएगा? कैच में चला जाएगा. Now the thing is that अगर ये प्रोग्राम यहाँ पे फाइल होती तो क्या होता? तो the thing is that when there is no problem in this line, your control will not go to the catch block. It will simply go to the next line. You want to see? आपके केस में when गुलाम file was not available, it has printed this line. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Now
yes.
go and just try to make available gulam.txt. ये देखो gulam.txt यहाँ पे आ गई.
Yes.
Now this time if I'll run the program, do you think it will create a problem? नहीं, इस लाइन में प्रॉब्लम नहीं
No.
आएगी. तो control will not go to the catch block. Control will go to the next line. तो आप मुझे बताओ in this case ये अच्छा सोल्यूशन है कि नहीं? बारिश हो गई तो आपने यहाँ पे you have opened the umbrella. Catch means you have opened the umbrella. और बारिश नहीं हुई तो ये आप गए थे, इसके बाद आप आ गए यहाँ चुपचाप. You come back. Getting my point?
सर इससे पहले जो आपने थ्रो वाला स्टेटमेंट लिखा था, थ्रो एक्सेप्शन करके,
हाँ जी.
तो वो सिर्फ इंटीमेशन के लिए, मतलब समवन इज इंटीमेटिंग कि यहाँ एक्सेप्शन आ सकता है इस ब्लॉक में,
हाँ जी.
राइट? बस उसका वो पर्पस है. तो अभी आपने जब ट्राई कैच लिखा तो हमको वो थ्रो लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है.
नहीं भाई, दोनों में से देखो आपका एक ही सोल्यूशन तो मानोगे. आप पेरेंट्स ने बोला कि बाहर जा रहे हो, अम्ब्रेला ले लो, बारिश हो सकती है, तो आप या तो इग्नोर करोगे या उनकी बात मान लोगे. ट्राई कैच मींस यू आर जस्ट वांट
वी
टू
आर
वर्क ऑन देयर
एक्सेप्टिंग.
एडवाइस.
हाँ,
यस,
ठीक है.
आप एक्सेप्ट कर रहे हो कि ऐसा हो सकता है, तो आपने बोला ठीक है भाई इसमें प्रॉब्लम आ सकती है. मैं पहले से देखो कैच का मतलब ये मैंने यहाँ पे लिख दिया है कि आई विल ओपन द अम्ब्रेला. अब इस लाइन में अगर बारिश हुई तो दिस लाइन विल रन टू ओपन द अम्ब्रेला, अदरवाइज इट विल गो टू द यूजुअल वन. यस और नो?
Yes.
गेटिंग माय पॉइंट?
Yes.
और
सर
आप
और एक
इन
क्वेश्चन है कि हमको पता कैसे चलेगा कि इसमें ये टाइप का ही एक्सेप्शन आएगा? जैसे कि आप अभी यहाँ पे हमने फाइल लिया तो फाइल नॉट फाउंड एक्सेप्शन का हमने ये बोला,
हाँ,
लेकिन
तो यहाँ
ऊपर जैसे ऊपर अगर सपोज मैं रन कर रहा हूँ और मुझे पता ही नहीं एक्सेप्शन कौन से आने वाले, तो मैं हैंडल कैसे करूँ उसको?
राइट. अब पहली बात तो ये आ गया, यहाँ पे एक टॉपिक और स्टार्ट हो गया. इन केस ऑफ चेक द एक्सेप्शन बिकॉज इट इज इंटीमेटिंग यू, तो आपके पास एक चीज तो करनी है आपको, और जब इंटीमेट करता है तो इट टेल्स यू दैट दिस टाइप ऑफ एक्सेप्शन कैन कम हियर. आपने एरर देखा था ना, उसने क्या बोला? फाइल नॉट फाउंड करके बोला था. यस और नो? देखो आपने जब ये लाइन लिखी थी, जस्ट सी हियर, जब आपने लाइन लिखी थी तो आपने कोई डिसीजन नहीं लिया था, तो देखो आपको बता रहा है ना कौन तरीके एरर आ सकती है. अनहैंडल्ड एक्सेप्शन टाइप फाइल नॉट फाउंड. यस और नो?
यस.
तो यहाँ तो प्रॉब्लम ही नहीं है. प्रॉब्लम कब है मैं बताता हूँ. प्रॉब्लम इज दैट व्हेन यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट अनचेक्ड एक्सेप्शन. अनचेक्ड एक्सेप्शन में मैंने क्या कहा? दिस इज नॉट ए गुड बिहेवियर दैट योर प्रोग्राम शुड बी टर्मिनेटेड. योर प्रोग्राम शुड बी टर्मिनेटेड. तो यहाँ पे तो आपको एक ऑप्शन दिया, तो आपने ट्राई कैच भी यूज कर लिया और आपने इग्नोर, जो भी आपकी मर्जी थी. यहाँ पे वो आपको ऑप्शन नहीं देता है, तो पता क्या करना है? इट इज योर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी टू डू इट योरसेल्फ. कोई आपको मजबूर नहीं करेगा. आपको अपने ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ योर ओन एक्सपीरियंस यू हैव टू हैंडल इट. यहाँ पे उसने फोर्स नहीं किया, लेकिन आपको पता है कि आपके एक्सपीरियंस है कि whenever you try to divide a number by another number and at run time somebody can give the divider as 0, तो प्रॉब्लम आ सकती है. तो आप क्या करोगे? देखो आप खुद यहाँ पे ट्राई कैच बनाते हो. गेटिंग माई पॉइंट?
Yes.
आपको कोई बोल नहीं रहा है, लेकिन इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि आपको यहाँ पे सिर्फ मैंने बोला. क्या बोला? अब एक एग्जांपल, लेट मी कम बैक टू माय ओन एग्जांपल. अगर वो आई हैव गिवन द एग्जांपल ऑफ दैट ऑर्फन बॉय, अगर वो ऑर्फन बॉय थोड़ा सा उसका एक्सपीरियंस होता प्रीवियसली, क्या कि ऐसा कभी होता है कि अगर ऊपर ऐसे इफ आई एम एबल टू सी दैट मौसम कुछ ऐसा हो रहा है दैट इट कैन रेन, तो वो खुद भी तो अम्ब्रेला ले जा सकता था. यस और नो? इज देयर अ नीड समबडी अदर पर्सन इज गोइंग टू इंटीमेट? यस और नो? सही कह रहा हूँ? यस और नो? अगर आपको नाउ थिंक अबाउट दैट, आप जब अपने पेरेंट्स के साथ यू आर लिविंग इन योर होम टाउन, दे आर इंटीमेटिंग, लेकिन यू आर डूइंग द जॉब, यू आर लिविंग सम डिफरेंट सिटी, आप अकेले रह रहे हो, तो हर डिसीजन के लिए आप ये थोड़ा ना पेरेंट्स वहां से बोलेंगे. यू समटाइम यू टेक द डिसीजन ऑन योर एक्सपीरियंस. यस और नो?
Yes.
तो यहाँ पे जो अनचेक्ड एक्सेप्शन है, दिस इज सिमिलर वे. इस आपको जब पता है कि जब भी मैं डिवीजन कर रहा हूं एंड दीज वैल्यूज आर गिवन बाय सम यूजर एज ए इनपुट एट रन टाइम, तो ये जीरो भी हो सकती है. यस और नो?
Yes.
तो आपने खुद ही बोला कि काम करते हैं, आई विल रैप दिस कोड एट रन टाइम, क्योंकि मुझे पता है अगर किसी ने दे दी जीरो तो ये कोड तो मेरा क्या होगा, इट विल टर्मिनेट. यस और नो?
Yes.
तो यहाँ पे ओनली डिफरेंस इज दैट nobody is intimating. Unchecked means compiler is not forcing you to take the decision. You are ready to. It's your own responsibility to do. तो आप कैसे करोगे? Because you asked me very very good question कि प्रदीप कैसे पता चलेगा? आपको एक्सपीरियंस से पता होता है कि अच्छा डिवाइड बाय जहां नंबर हो रहा है वहां पे ऐसी एक्सेप्शन आ सकती है. So that's why you taken the example कि यहाँ पे बाय डिफॉल्ट जब मैंने लिखा यहाँ पे लिख दिया एक्सेप्शन. तो यहाँ पे जब आपको पता चलेगा तो कैच ब्लॉक में यू विल सी here what is the type of exception in the catch, file not found. yes or no? और यहाँ पे आप वही एक्सेप्शन लिखोगे जो आपको रन टाइम पे आए. इसमें लिखो arithmetic, so you will able to see arithmetic exception here.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you will make a try of your code and in the catch block you will write arithmetic exception और इसका solution यहाँ पे लिख दो. You can write your solution here. कुछ भी solution लिख सकते हो. जैसे मैं देखो एक solution बताता हूँ. Solution can be something like this. अच्छा यहाँ पे it's my own opinion, that is I don't know that the Java has the same understanding about it. Maybe देखो अपना अपना perception. मेरा perception था कि why Java is not given this thing as a solution. उसने क्यों आपको intimate नहीं किया? Because the thing is that so many answers are possible in this case. है ना? Business logic के हिसाब से. Now tell me, few people say that when you try to divide a number by zero in maths, usually we say it is infinite. Yes or no?
Yes.
है ना? लेकिन आपको पता है कुछ लोग ये भी बोलते हैं when you try to divide a number by zero, it means आप उसके एक भी division means you are trying to make a parts, you are trying to make a parts of the number. Yes or no?
Yes.
अगर एक नंबर 4 के 0, हम यूजली भाषा में क्या बोलते हैं, अगर 4 के मैं 0 मतलब कोई भी टुकड़ा ना करूं, so it will become 1, एक ही टुकड़ा बनेगा. Yes or no? Or you can say it is 4. Yes or no? Are you getting my point? आप ऐसे समझो, आप डिवीजन का मतलब क्या होता है, उस नंबर को यू आर ट्राइंग टू डिवाइड इन स्मॉल पार्ट्स. यस और नो?
यस.
मतलब 4 को अगर मैं छोटे छोटे पार्ट में डिवाइड करूं तो अगर मैं किसी नंबर को 0 पार्ट में डिवाइड करूं, मतलब कुछ भी ना करूं, तो बिजनेस लॉजिक के हिसाब से कुछ लोग कह सकते हैं कि जब कोई डिवाइड नहीं करो सो द होल नंबर इज इटसेल्फ द आंसर. यस और नो?
यस.
ठीक है. मैथ आई अंडरस्टैंड दैट. मैथ कहती है कि अगर किसी नंबर को 0, तो मैथ क्या है, मैथ इज एक्चुअली डिपेंड ऑन है कैलकुलेशन. वो कहती है मैं तो डिवाइड करता रहूंगा जब तक, और जीरोस को डिवाइड करते हुए क्या कर देगा, जिंदगी भर डिवाइड करता रहेगा. सो इट इज एक्चुअली अ नंबर दैट इज कॉल्ड इनफाइनाइट. है ना? कुछ लोग बोलते हैं चलो इसे 4 करते हैं. कुछ लोग ये भी बोलेंगे अगर किसी नंबर को 4 से डिवाइड करें सो आंसर इज 0, मींस मैं उसके कोई टुकड़े कर ही नहीं सकता. यस और नो? आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट?
Yes.
So you can think about in this way that same business logic actually depends on different organization. Yes or no? Same business logic. आप मुझे बताओ, your total gross salary calculation, that is totally dependent on organization. Yes or no? एक organization में gross salary को calculate करने का तरीका अलग होता है, दूसरे में अलग होता है, तीसरे में अलग होता है. Can you say something like that कि सबका एक ही होता है? Yes or no? So sometimes what happens, your calculation is actually depend on your domain as well as in your organization. Are you getting my point? तो वहां पे आप अपना कोई solution fix नहीं दे सकते. Getting my point?
Yes.
So for example, जिन organization में they are want to treat is like the whenever you try to divide a number by 0 and your answer should be 0, अगर वो लगता है उनकी business में ही है तो मैं कैश में जानते हो क्या लिखूंगा, C equal to यस और नो? मैं सी में क्या लिख दूंगा?
0.
मैंने सॉल्यूशन बोल दिया कि अगर नंबर डिवाइड हो जाए तो ठीक है, प्रॉब्लम आ जाए तो सी की वैल्यू क्या कर दो, 0, बिकॉज दैट इज डिमांड ऑफ माई बिजनेस लॉजिक. आर यू गेटिंग माई पॉइंट? आर यू गेटिंग माई पॉइंट?
Yes.
कि
Yes.
आपके बिजनेस में क्या रिक्वायर, अभी देखो सारा दिखा. अच्छा, वन थिंग इज देयर, व्हेनेवर एक्चुअली व्हाट इज हैपनिंग, यू आर ट्राइंग टू डिक्लेयर वेरिएबल सी. जब आप सी को डिक्लेयर कर रहे हो तो देखो एक प्रॉब्लम आ रही है. आई विल शो यू दैट इज प्रॉब्लम. दैट इज यू कैन से कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ. यहाँ पे देखो क्या लिखा है, सी कैन नॉट बी रिजॉल्व इन वेरिएबल बिकॉज द थिंग इज दैट I told you this is one block, this is another block. Yes or no? एक ब्लॉक के अंदर you have declared a variable int c in this block. तो इस ब्लॉक को थोड़ा पता है कि c कोई वेरिएबल है. Yes or no?
Yes.
So that's why it is saying that कि एक ब्लॉक के अंदर ये एक वेरिएबल इज जस्ट लाइक ए लोकल वेरिएबल. तो इस ब्लॉक के अंदर c को आप यूज करें, इसको थोड़ा पता है c क्या है. So this should be available that both can understand it. तो मैंने क्या किया, देखो उसको डिक्लेयर कहाँ किया, आउटसाइड द ब्लॉक. Yes or no?
Yes.
तो अब देखो ये एरर चली गई, द एरर ऑन लाइन नंबर 18 इज गॉन. अभी बोल रहा है दैट सी इज नॉट आइडेंटिफाइड, नहीं, ठीक है. दूसरा, इन लाइन नंबर 16 I have to write C because already I declared at this one. Yes or no?
Yes.
Now this error is gone because the thing is that I declared a C as a local variable. Then I am trying to use this variable in try block as well as catch block. तो variable तो कहाँ define है, इन दोनों के बाहर. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
Okay, now I will run this program. देखो क्या होगा. Now sum, first case, when your B is 2, क्या आंसर आना चाहिए? Your answer should be 2.
2.
So मैंने कहीं printing नहीं किया. Let me do one. Oh, printing मैंने. Oh, sorry, I'm not running this program. This is main one. Right. Let me run this and see what will happen. What is the answer?
2.
And why the answer is 2 coming? Just see. When the control come to line number this one on the try block, it creates any problem? No. Very simple. 4 divided by 2, answer is 2. So it do not go to the catch block. It go to the line number 21, printed 2n. Now second case, when it has given the value 2 as a user input, now control will go to the line number 16. It create a problem. Control will go to the catch block. Yes or no?
Yes.
And in the catch block, I written a business logic makes the value equal to 0. किसी end user को नहीं पता है, लेकिन according to my business logic, I make the value 0. So answer which is visible to the end user, that will be 0. Yes or no?
Yes.
So actually, in the catch block, you try to provide a solution which is best fit in your case. Getting my point?
Yes.
अच्छा, किसी को था कि आंसर मेरी बिजनेस लॉजिक में कुछ और आना चाहिए, यू कैन राइट 4, राइट. और 4 क्यों? इफ यू आर सेइंग दैट व्हेन अ नंबर इज डिवाइड बाय 0, देन द इन केस द a should be the answer. जिस नंबर को डिवाइड करें वही आंसर होगा. सो आई कैन राइट c इक्वल टू a.
Yes.
आप क्या बोला आपने कि अगर किसी नंबर को आप 0 से डिवाइड करोगे आंसर वही आ जाएगा जो क्या है, which is stored in the a. So can I write c equal to a?
Yes.
So here I want to tell you only this thing, that you can give a solution for your runtime exception and your solution totally depends on your need. Getting my point? जैसे in case here I am just giving a message file not available. मैं ये भी तो कर सकता था कि अगर ये फाइल वहां पे अवेलेबल ना हो, so I can create a file at runtime. Yes or no?
Yes.
कर सकते. तो आपका solution, what is your solution that is best applicable in your case? That is the only point. लेकिन यहाँ पे एक्सेप्शन हैंडलिंग का पर्पस क्या है? It is giving you a proper place where you can write your solution. ये आपको solution की जगह देता है. क्या solution करना है वो आपकी choice. Getting my point? But the purpose of exception handling that your program should not be terminated. Getting my point?
Yes.
So now unchecked exception is also known as, एक और exception नाम से बोलते हैं compile time. क्यों compile time बोलते हैं? क्योंकि compile time पे क्या होती है, पता चल जाता है. Yes or no?
Yes.
Unchecked exception कोई बताएगा, guess करेगा क्या कह सकते हैं फिर इसको?
Runtime.
बिल्कुल, because it is not able to identify. Oh, मैंने उल्टा लिख दिया.
हाँ, वो रन टाइम होगा.
ये इससे या मैंने उल्टा लिख दिया. सॉरी. लेट मी. इट इज रन टाइम एंड इट इज कंपाइल. देखो आप लोगों ने टोका भी नहीं है ना, ये टोक दिया करो. यू आर फ्री टू इंटरप्ट मी, ठीक है. सो इट इज कॉल्ड कंपाइल टाइम. checked exception is called compile time, क्योंकि compiler ने क्या किया, उसको check कर लिया, compile. That's why it is called compile time. And this is not checked at compile time. It is only thrown at runtime. That's why it is called. So it is called compile time, unchecked or runtime, or it is called checked or compiled. Getting my point? Yes or no? और इसको एक और भी बोल सकते हैं, run जब when I talking about the unchecked, मतलब run time is dynamic. अब अगर कोई चीज रन टाइम पे हो गई, it is also called dynamic and it is called static. कोई चीज checked हो रही है तो it is called static and it is called dynamic. So they can use so many terms, but especially they use two terms जो they can ask in the interview: checked and runtime, unchecked and runtime, and checked and compiled. Getting my point?
Yes.
Anybody have any doubt here? Anybody have any doubt? Only the thing is that what is the topic saying, that it is not talking about the problem. It is talking about that whenever you are facing any problem, you have to handle it. And the solution is that either ignore it or handle it. If you want to ignore it, you have to use a throws in your syntax. If you want to handle it, you have to use try and catch. Or try catch use करने के लिए, in case of checked, it can compel you, but in case of unchecked, it will not compel you. You have to decide on basis of your previous experiences. Getting my point?
Yes.
ठीक है, तो ये आपका इसमें. अब now the question is, now the one more thing is added in the, you can say this topic, that whether whenever you want to write a try block, catch is mandatory or not. Getting my point? So anybody can tell me, अगर मैं try लिखूंगा तो catch mandatory होगा?
Yes.
हाँ जी, बिल्कुल मैंडेटरी होगा, क्योंकि रीजन है, अगर आपने सोल्यूशन, अगर आपने ट्राई यूज किया है तो इसीलिए तो यूज किया, सो दैट यू कैन मार्क अ सोल्यूशन. यस और नो? एंड सोल्यूशन इज ओनली पॉसिबल इन कैच. यस और नो?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, there is one more thing in this topic. There is one another block that is called finally. F-I-N-A-L-L-Y. ये क्या होता है? Finally block. So now what is the purpose of finally block? I will tell you. Finally, the purpose of finally block is that what happens that when there will be error in the try, then control will go to the catch block. Yes or no? Yani whatever is written in the catch block, that will only be execute when there will be problem in the try. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
A catch block, where catch block will only be executed when there is a problem in the try. If try do not have any problem, catch block will be skipped. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
So your exception handling actually gave you option that in both the scenario, whether your exception is raised in the try or not, if you want to run a particular statement in both the cases, you can write in a finally. Getting my point?
Yes.
तो यहाँ पे उसने बोला I'm just writing a statement, I will always run. Whatever you are writing, you can say whatever code you are writing in the finally block, that will always run. I will give you the answer. ये देखो यहाँ पे इसको, let me write main one, इसको run करते हैं, let me remove it. You will see here. In this game, Gulam file exists or not? Gulam file is there, yes or no?
Yes.
You will see this line will not run. Control will not go to here, but control will 100% go to the finally one. Just see here. Yes or no? ये line run करी, this line run? No, because exception was not in the try. है ना? Yes or no? So this line is not run, but this line is run. Yes or no?
Yes.
अब देखो second case. When I remove this file from here. So now this case, in this case, definitely there will be a problem in the try. So control will go to the catch. Yes or no?
Yes.
But it will also go to the finally. Finally may it will go in each and every case. Let me run it. It is going to the both block. Yes or no?
Yes.
So they have given you option that catch is the only block which only be treated, or the control will go to the catch block when there is a problem in the try. But finally is a block that will be executed in each and every case. तो उसको उन्होंने ऐसे दिया. Getting my point?
Yes.
So now
अब
they have given.
फाइनली का नीड क्या है फिर यहाँ पे नहीं समझ में आया.
अच्छा फाइनली, हाँ जी, फाइनली का नीड मैं बताता हूँ क्या था. फाइनली का नीड ये होता है कि I will give it a good example and you have to give the same example in interview and it is very good. Few things are always perform in both the scenarios, है ना. कुछ चीजें ऐसी होती हैं जो आपको दोनों सिनेरियो में करनी है. फॉर एग्जांपल, आई विल गिव द एग्जांपल. यू नो दैट व्हेनेवर यू आर ट्राइंग टू मेक अ कनेक्शन टू अ डेटाबेस, ठीक है, आप मुझे बताओ एक डेटाबेस से एक कनेक्शन बना रहे हो, यू जस्ट फायर्ड अ क्वेरी टू द डेटाबेस. आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? You have just make a SQL query to your database. Your query, you can say, give you the result, send the response from the database as a result. In that case, and suppose it is failed in both the scenario, both the scenario, after completing your task, you should close the database connection. Yes or no?
Yes.
Are you getting my point? मैंने क्या बोला, आपने एक डेटाबेस से आप कनेक्शन बनाते हो, आपको पता ना, you use a client for that. आप एक client बनाते हो. In case of Oracle, it is SQL developer. In case of MySQL, it is you can say SQL Yog. In case of MS SQL Server, already provides a client that is called Microsoft Studio. Yes or no? आप लोगों ने इनमें से किसी डेटाबेस में तो काम किया होगा. Yes or no? No.
Yes.
तो जब भी आप कनेक्शन अपना बनाते हो, यू जस्ट ओपन द क्लाइंट, यू जस्ट मेक ए क्वेरी, और जब होती है तो आप अपनी स्टूडियो यानी क्लाइंट को क्लोज करते हो. व्हेन यू आर क्लोजिंग योर क्लाइंट, सो इट एक्चुअली डिस्कनेक्ट द कनेक्शन फ्रॉम योर क्लाइंट टू द एक्चुअल डेटाबेस सर्वर. यस और नो?
Yes. Yes.
अब आप मुझे बताओ, आपने क्वेरी चलाई, आपको आंसर मिल गया, आपने आंसर देख लिया, देन यू हैव टू क्लोज. आपको क्लोज करना चाहिए था ना कनेक्शन. यस और नो?
Yes.
और अगर आपने क्वेरी चलाई और क्वेरी चलाने के बाद आपको रिजल्ट प्रॉपर नहीं मिला, डेटाबेस में कनेक्शन बनाया बट यू डिडंट गेट द आंसर, मे बी इट प्रोवाइड सम एसक्यूएल एक्सेप्शन, तो आप क्या बोलोगे, नहीं नहीं एसक्यूएल एक्सेप्शन दिया, अब एक काम करते हैं, मैं डेटाबेस कनेक्शन नहीं बंद करूंगा. इन एवरी केस यू हैव टू क्लोज द कनेक्शन. आपको रिलीज करना पड़ेगा. यू शुड रिलीज द रिसोर्स. यस और नो?
Yes.
तो यहाँ पे भी है, यू जस्ट थिंक द एग्जाम्पल, यू हैव क्रिएटेड अ फाइल ऑब्जेक्ट. ध्यान से सुनना, यू हैव क्रिएटेड द फाइल ऑब्जेक्ट. गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? You are able to read it or not, read it or not, you should release this file connection. Yes or no?
Yes.
आपने फाइल
Yes.
का एक ऑब्जेक्ट बना लिया, it will store in the memory. Yes or no?
Yes.
ये मेमोरी में फाइल रेफरेंस से किसको पॉइंट करेगा? जिस फाइल का ऑब्जेक्ट बना के इसने रखा है मेमोरी में रखा है, तो उसको अपने पास रिफर करके रखना ना, फाइल इक्वल टू.
Yes. Yes.
आपका काम यहाँ पे हो या ना हो, लेकिन ये फाइल का कनेक्शन मेमोरी क्या होनी चाहिए, फ्री हो जानी चाहिए. यस और नो? सो मैं क्या करूंगा फाइनली में, ध्यान से देखिएगा, आई विल राइट फाइल इक्वल टू null. Null means I am releasing the memory of file. Getting my point? Yes or no?
Yes.
No, sir.
So this is the code which should be run each and every case. आपका
Yes.
कोई भी काम ऐसा हो, चाहे उसमें प्रॉब्लम आए ना आए, ये रन करना ही चाहिए. That you should write in the file. Getting my point?
Yes.
Sir,
Now
can you please repeat once again, sir?
sorry.
Sir, I'm not getting. Can you
Okay,
please repeat once again?
yeah, I'm saying that what happens that finally is a block which actually provides a place where you can write the code which is applicable in both the cases, whether you got any exception in the try or not. Okay, so I was just giving the example that here you have written a code to you can say handle a file. Yes or no? You are trying to open a file. Yes or no?
Yes.
To write this code, actually you want to read some data from this file, but before that you have already converted the file into the object. Yes or no?
Yes.
So it is taking the memory. It is taking the memory to convert this file into the object. So now you are able to read the data from the file or not. At last, your file, the memory which is actually pointing to the file, that should be free. Otherwise, it will occupy in the whole session, and it will something like that. If you have heard about that, memory out of memory error. What happens that it is actually trying to occupy the memory. If your work is done, you should release the memory. Yes or no?
Yes.
So in the finally block, I'm trying to write a code which will run. Is in case you are able to read, that is also okay. If you are not able to read, but in the finally block, I have said that release the memory for the file reference. Getting my point?
Yes, sir.
And
Yes.
there is a special function also for that. File dot. If you don't want to write this code, file dot. There is a function that is not here. No. In case of file, you have to write this one. No. I was thinking that there is a function that is called file dot close. That is not the case with file. That is case with the FIS. FIS dot close. Okay. Professor, okay, I got it. Why it is not given?
Sir, you have
Because
not
you
created variable FI object
no,
FIS.
no, I have created this one because it is in the try block, so you cannot identify in it. So you have to do same thing, that you have to declare outside this block, right?
Sir, actually, I have another question.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, you have created two main function, right? One is main and main one.
Yes.
Why it's running only main function? Why it's
Yeah.
not running main one?
Yeah, actually the thing is that what happens that it is written in the Java. It is actually I have to come this topic after completing few other topics. That what happens that your class contains multiple functions. Got my point? You can take the
Yes.
example whenever I taken the topic of methods. I have created so many methods in a class like addition, subtraction, so many things, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what happens that whenever you want to start your execution, you want to run your class, so always actually what happens, coding is always written in the statements, or you can say the block of statements is always written in a functions. Okay, so what happens that when you try to run your program, Java needs a proper entry point your execution for your execution. Are you getting my point? Means whenever you want to say that I want to run my class, so there should be a point where it should start running your program. Yes or no?
Yes.
So in this case, it is written in the you can say JVM, or it is written in the you can say compiler. It is written in the library of Java, that whenever you will try to run your class, it will actually find a particular function with this syntax. Getting my point? It will
Yes.
search, it will try to find a function with the name of main. It only identified the main function to run. Getting my point? Now you will see, if I will give the main one name is main one, one is main two. Before that, let me show. Are you able to see this option, run as Java application?
Yes, sir.
Now I'm just changing this name also, main two. Now tell me one thing, when I will try to run this class, it will able to find any main function only? No. Just see, this time are you able to get any option run as Java application?
No.
No, reason is that whenever you will try to run a class, it only, your JVM only try to find the main method. Getting my point? Because
Yes.
it start running from program from the main. ये केवल main से start करता है. If you want to go get into the proper detail of this thing, I will suggest you a proper video. And trust me, it is very, very beautiful. I have told you in the 1-2 lines, and here you will see it is defined in a proper way. Let me give the example.
Sir,
Yeah, tell me.
जैसे ये मेन इज द एंट्री पॉइंट ऑफ एनी प्रोग्राम, ये ठीक है, बट जैसे आपने एक को मेन लिखा था तो आपका वो चल गया है ना, और ऊपर जो मेन वन था वो मतलब वो चलेगा भी नहीं?
नहीं, वो चलेगा कब? when you will try to call it intensely. मतलब आप अपने प्रोग्राम में जब तक इस फंक्शन को कॉल करोगे,
कॉल नहीं
the thing
करेंगे
is,
तब नहीं
yes,
चलेगा.
जब तक मतलब the thing is that you are saying to you are just give, मैं आपको बोल रहा हूँ, आप do one thing, trust me, your all query will be resolved. I'm not able to find a proper, you can say, there is a proper video that is very, very beautiful. I have made so many effort on that. Are you able to see where anywhere is written main method? This one. It is only a video of 10 minutes, and trust me, just see this video. I got it, that you guys are not watching my small videos also. And trust me, you can see this video and then tell me, Pradeep, I'm not able to understand. I can bet on that you will understand. Are you getting my point? इस वीडियो को आप देखो एंड यू कैन गिव मी द ऑनेस्ट फीडबैक. आप मुझे स्पेशली इसी व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में लिखना, दीप दिस इज आल्सो नॉट अ गुड वीडियो. आई विल नॉट, मैं उसे बुरा नहीं मानूंगा, ठीक है, बट आई कैन बेट ऑन दैट इट इज रियली वेरी गुड, बिकॉज आई हैव एक्सप्लेन्ड इट वन बाय वन in a proper way, that how a program runs, where it goes to run from the JVM. Are you getting my point? So it is a 10-minute video. Can I expect that you will see this video just after this session? Can I expect?
yes.
हाँ देखो, यहाँ पे हमारे बॉयज आ गए हैं, हमारी गर्ल्स बहुत पीछे है ना, गर्ल्स देर में बोलती है ना. So case is always the first position. गुलाम, what about you?
Yes, I will say.
वाह, गुलाम के तो मैं घर जाके देखूंगा he is doing or not. ठीक है. So the thing is that, so you can trust, I can bet on one thing also. If you will not like this particular video, you can what you will say, you can unsubscribe to my channels. ठीक है. So I can bet on. So please try to watch this video and you will see how I explained the main function. Getting my point? Haji, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And still you will not able to understand, you can tell me. I will again explained in the tomorrow next session. Getting my point?
Yeah.
So now,
Yes,
okay,
sir.
now tell me.
What I think,
Yeah.
like today we will again go through with this topic, and I think tomorrow, please give the brief again on this exception handling.
No, I didn't get you. The exception part is, you can say, just completed. I'm just going to one point, interview point, and that exception is completed. No, I didn't get. You are saying that I have to cover the remaining topic tomorrow?
No, sir. I am saying like today this exception part, exception handling. I feel like it is quite complicated.
Okay.
So tomorrow, so today we will go through with this topic again from our side, and tomorrow, if any doubt or anything, so can you take this again? Like if again means I'm not saying the full topic again, but whatever the doubt is there, can we start with the doubt session tomorrow, and then we can start with the new topic?
Always, Rabia, always I do this thing. In the starting, I always just mark this statement. If you have any doubt from any previous session, you can ask me. Then I will proceed. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. It is quite complicated actually.
Rabia, today you joined little bit late. That's why. That otherwise you will see in every video. Maybe sometime I forget, but every time this is my, you can say, strategy. First of all, your doubts from the previous session should be clear. Then I come to the next one. So it doesn't matter if the whole tomorrow session will go into the exception part. That is also okay. But each and every person in my session should be clear on the topics. Getting my point?
Yes.
Okay. So only one point is left. I'm telling you, you can revise. Still need, I will take another session on the same topic. But the thing is that if you will revise, okay, don't say me this Pradeep ne revise nahi kiya. Let revise in front of Pradeep. Hai na? Don't do these things. Okay. Okay. So one topic is left here, that what is happening in interview, they can ask you one question, same question again I'm asking. Is there a possibility that we can write a try without catch block? Yes. Only the condition is that when you don't want to write a catch block, at least you have to write a finally block. Getting my point?
Yes.
Finally.
तो एक ही आंसर है. अगर आप ट्राई के साथ कैच नहीं लगाना चाहते हो, इफ यू डोंट वांट टू यूज द कैच विद द ट्राई यू कैन स्किप इट, बट यू हैव टू राइट द फाइनली. क्योंकि देखो बताओ, लॉजिकली देयर इज अ रीजन बिहाइंड दैट. फाइनली दोनों केस में चलेगा. सो इन दैट केस यू कैन मार्क योर सॉल्यूशन इन द फाइनली आंसर. यस और नो?
यस.
तो उसने बोला कि जब आपने फाइनली रन किया है तो आप अपना सॉल्यूशन वहां पे दे दो, बट दैट इज नॉट ए गुड अप्रोच. आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? राइटिंग ए ट्राई एंड फाइनली नॉट ए गुड अप्रोच, है ना. ये तो वही बात हो गई कि आपकी प्रॉब्लम हो या ना हो, फाइनली चलेगा तो आपने अपना सॉल्यूशन भी वहीं दे दिया. सो इन इफ योर सॉल्यूशन इज नॉट नीडेड, स्टिल योर कोड विल रन. यस और नो? Yes or no?
Yes.
So you should write the 100% executable code in the finally one, and the exception related code you should write in the catch. So interview के perspective से you can give the answer that try can be executed without catch, but in that case finally is needed. So there is a condition try with finally. Otherwise the you can say advisable statement is that you should use try with catch. If needed, you should use the finally. Okay, but from the interview again I'm saying that you can skip the try if you are using try with finally. Getting my point? Is it okay?
So why is it throwing error with finally?
No, it was something else. Let me show you. If you are saying that it was something like that, because I have written the code in this way, so it was giving something else. It is saying that in try also, I was trying to tell you that whenever you are writing FIS, so what happens that it is saying that whenever you are running this code, so you will see again it is giving you one thing. It is saying that resource leak FI is never closed. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
So ये क्या कह रहा है, आप ये सोचो जैसे on the same way you are writing a code, file equal none, you are releasing the memory of the file object. Yes or no?
File. Yes.
लेकिन अब ये बताओ, अगर आपकी फाइल को यहाँ पे रीड कर लिया, so this is also occupying the memory FIS reference. Yes or no?
Yes.
तो ये कह रहा है इसको भी क्लोज करना चाहिए. So when you are writing a try, so it means you have to write again code, and you will see it is showing you here also unhandled exception file not find. So यहाँ पे आपको क्या करना है, अब देखो मैंने थ्रोज क्या किया. अब आपने कैच नहीं लिखा है, तो कैच नहीं लिखा है तो इन केस anybody you have to write this thing कि आपको जो exception है उसको कैच नहीं लिखना है तो आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा उसको थ्रो करना। तो आपने देखो ट्राई को फाइनली के बिना लिख तो दिया कैच के बिना, बट इन दैट केस ये तो अपना बिहेवियर निभाएगा ना, इट विल आल्सो फॉलो द रूल कि भाई मुझे तो आई नीड अ सॉल्यूशन, यू डोंट वांट टू कैच, यू आइदर यू हैव टू यूज थ्रोस। गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? नाउ इट इज नॉट गिविंग compilation error, try with finally. Getting my point?
Yes.
So that's why again I'm saying that it is only related to the interview, otherwise this is not a proper way to write a code. Proper way to write a code is try, catch, and if needed, finally. Getting my point?
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is all about the, you can say again this topic is very very big, but the thing is that important part of the topic I have covered. If needed and whenever we come to the Selenium, if any specific condition will there, I will come to that point also. Okay, getting my point? At the same time, if you want to explore more from the internet, you can explore. You have a doubt, you can ask me. Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm binding the session for the day, and tomorrow I will start. If your query will be resolved, then I will start a very very good topic. Okay, then I will tell you only tomorrow when you will come to the session. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.
Have a good
Thank
day.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you, sir.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Bye.